This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler, and today is September 2nd, 2020. Thanks for joining us.
Well, the Board of County Commissioners met yesterday in Tonopah. Scott Lewis, the Director of Emergency Management, gave his regular report on COVID-19, and there was a few positive points.
In general terms, some good news on our horizon. Our COVID trajectory within the last several weeks has begun to level off. We have seen less cases coming in per day. However, we have had 2 additional deaths. Specifically, in Pahrump, we've had 437 cases. Amargosa had 17. Beatty had 10. Tonopah holds steady at 17. And Smoky Valley has 4. That's a subtotal of 485 cases that we've managed. We also subtract, as we've talked about in previous meetings, the antibody testing and those that are transferred to Clark County due to residency. Even though they may work here, the residency dictates where they're counted. Therefore, we have gone from 440 to 469 cases, including the 14 deaths, for a total of 29 additional deaths since our last meeting. We've recorded over 410 recovered status patients, and that's as of last week. We are working closely with the state to legitimize those numbers and to make sure that we are as accurate and up to date as possible. Our hospitalization appears to be stabilizing in both Las Vegas and Pahrump. Several Nye County cases remain in Las Vegas-based hospitals, however. Our testing continues, with interest in testing slightly diminished as our previous numbers. The testing approach used by Nye County is, again, the most proven method for accuracy, and that is the deep nasal pharyngeal, not just simply the shallow nasal testing. Over 6,500 tests have been completed. Additional are scheduled. We are considering changing some of the locations and the times to accommodate people in order to get those testing numbers up. And as you recall, those testing numbers are extremely important as part of the COVID report, the jurisdictional report that you mentioned a little earlier, Chairman. The previous written jurisdictional plan authored by Tim Sutton was met with success, and reopening certain businesses throughout the county in the rural areas. We continue to work very closely between the chairman, Tim, and myself to work closely with the state officials to reopen the currently restricted businesses located in Pahrump. In prep of a potential vaccination, we are preparing training requests for EMS personnel throughout the county to become trained in administration of those vaccinations. That's a very important step. Once that vaccination becomes available, we don't want to have a lag time in administering those vaccinations. So we are seeking volunteers in both our career and volunteer ranks in order to become endorsed to administer those vaccinations. Our weekly target testing schedules include the nursing facilities and target hotspots. And as a side note, I just want to remind everyone that we have an unprecedented heat wave that's going to continue now starting this week and going through the Labor Day weekend. One thing as a side note, Commissioner Blendo, you had asked me to try and capture some of the other issues, medical issues, if you will, on some of the COVID tracing. I have done that. The majority are older citizens that we've discussed from the beginning, and they include cardiac, respiratory, diabetic, and cancer-related issues.
In recent days, COVID-19 positives have declined, and so has the number of people that have been getting tested in Nye County. This information should be used as a reason to stay vigilant. Don't forget your mask, wash your hands, and if you feel ill, please stay home.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office reports that 2 people have been killed as a result of a 2-vehicle tractor-trailer collision that occurred after 1:30 this morning. The highway was shut down for hours following the head-on collision, which backed up traffic for miles while the vehicles and debris were removed from the highway north of Beatty at mile marker 79. The investigation is being conducted by Nevada Highway Patrol. The fireworks launch site will be open this Labor Day weekend. The site is located at 3770 Fox Avenue, which is near the corner of Fox and Gamebird Road. Fireworks permits may be purchased at any fireworks retailer. The cost of the permit is $5. The launch site is open September 4th through the 6th from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have your Business First briefing and also your arrest report.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by P&P Property Management. Knowledge, experience, communication, and trust. Call Cynthia at 775-727-4444.
Welcome back. We're happy to have you with us tonight. Walmart is launching a membership program similar to Amazon Prime. LL Bean is among the companies doing well during the pandemic, and a big week for lawyers who are working for McDonald's. Angela Miles has more.
Topping our news, it's prime time for Walmart. Starting September 15th, the world's largest retailer will launch a membership program that is similar to Amazon Prime. Walmart customers will pay $98 per year for special discounts. LL Bean is among the companies doing well during the pandemic as Americans get outdoors. The CEO tells CNBC that LL Bean shoppers are already hot on buying sleds, snowshoes, fleece, and flannel. It's turning into legal week for McDonald's. 52 former franchise owners who happen to be black are suing. They say they were denied the same opportunities as white operators because McDonald's steered them toward locations in low-income areas where sales also tend to be lower. They say they lost up to $5 million per location on average. McDonald's contends the location decision is ultimately up to franchise owners.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Thanks, Angela. Well, a local man was arrested after he mistakenly told police what was inside his backpack.
On August 22nd, Nye County Sheriff's Office was conducting a business check at Superwash in Pahrump. A man was observed in the rear of the business, digging through a backpack. The officer began a consensual conversation with the man, who identified himself as Ryan Mallory. While the officer was speaking to Mallory, he began to rummage through his belongings, which included a large Band-Aid box. The officer observed a hypodermic device located inside the box. When questioned, Ryan advised that he was a drug user. The officer also observed a clear rubber container that appeared to have a file with clear plastic baggies. Mallory allegedly advised the officer that it contained a liquid antidepressant, which he did not have a prescription for. Also inside the container, the officer located a substance that was later identified as methamphetamine. Mallory also produced multiple hypodermic devices. At that time, Mallory was placed under arrest. Upon further search, the officer located more vials of midazolam and 3 vials labeled ketamine hydrochloride, which is a Schedule III controlled substance, unlawful to possess without a prescription. Also located were 25 loose yellow pills later identified as quietipine, not a scheduled controlled substance, but it does require a prescription. Mallory was booked into Nye County Detention Center and charged with possession of a Schedule I and II controlled substance, possession of a Schedule III to V controlled substance, possession of a hypodermic device, and possession of a dangerous drug without a prescription.
And another subject who was arrested by police, who noted what type of shorts the man was wearing, allegedly dropped some narcotics inside the detention center, according to the Nye County Sheriff's Office report.
On August 5th, Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives were notified of an active felony warrant issued by Pahrump Justice Court for Kenneth Osborne for narcotic-related offenses. Detectives observed Osborne on Blagg Road and conducted a traffic stop because Osborne did not use the required turn signal. Officers confirmed the warrant for Osborne and placed him under arrest. Osborne was wearing what appeared to be female-style gym shorts. Osborne asked the deputy to receive his other shorts from inside the truck. The deputy put the shorts with Osborne's other belongings, and he was transported to Nye County Detention Center. Deputies were later contacted and advised that they had located suspected methamphetamine on the floor of the pre-booking cell that Osborne was in. The deputy reported that he observed Osborne attempting to conceal a baggie in his shorts pocket. Osborne told deputies that he found the baggie in his pocket and freaked out. Officers collected as much of the suspected methamphetamine as possible that was on the floor of the cell. Osborne knowingly put the suspected methamphetamine on the floor of the pre-booking cell so that other inmates could have obtained the controlled substance within the controlled environment of the detention center. Osborne was later charged with attempt to destroy and conceal evidence, possession of a Schedule I and II controlled substance, and furnishing or attempting to administer a controlled substance to a state prisoner.
We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll tell you about September being National Cholesterol Education Awareness Month, and we'll also have today's Save a Pet. Stick around.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, the Pahrump Senior Center is the happy recipient of 10 brand new wheelchairs that they will be able to either loan or give to Pahrump residents with a need.
John Williams is with the Nevada Wheelchair Foundation. The goal of the foundation is to distribute between 7,000 and 10,000 wheelchairs to people in Nevada that cannot afford to buy one. Williams was in Pahrump to drop off brand new wheelchairs to the Pahrump Senior Center.
Brand new in a box, and we asked for three things. You live in Nevada, you can't afford a wheelchair, and for permanent use, you will get one. The foundation we started back in 2000. We gave out 1.2 million wheelchairs already, and we started a Nevada chapter in 2002, and now we started again about 8 months ago. Yeah. And we've probably done about 500 already. Yeah. These wheelchairs are brand new. They're collapsible, very light. The legs come off very easy. They push very easy. And like I say, they're all from China, and we got three sizes, 16, 18, and 20s. This fits up to about 275-pound person.
Ann Blankenship with the Pahrump Senior Center says they are still helping seniors during the pandemic, and the Senior Center is pleased to be able to offer wheelchairs to those who need one and cannot afford to purchase one.
Absolutely, we're still serving our meals, but we also are available for access to wheelchairs. There's a lot of folks that can't get them. It's very costly. We loan them out. Their Wheelchair Foundation has been kind enough to give us right now 10 brand new chairs.
To find out more about how you can be part of providing wheelchairs to those in need, visit NevadaWheelchairFoundation.org.
September is National Cholesterol Education Month. Millions of people have high cholesterol, putting them at an increased risk for heart disease. The good news is high cholesterol is treatable at any age. According to Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Luke Laffin, managing your cholesterol starts young.
Typically, we recommend as soon as someone turns 18 or in their early 20s to at least have a one-time cholesterol panel, and it almost serves as a screening test of sorts. Then we can check every 3 to 5 years after the fact.
Cholesterol screening is a simple blood test. When you get your results, you'll see a few different numbers. Your total cholesterol should be less than 170. Your LDL or bad cholesterol should be less than 110. Your HDL or good cholesterol should be 35 or higher. And finally, you want triglycerides to be less than 150. Dr. Laffin says high cholesterol is treated with a combination of exercise, a heart-healthy diet, and cholesterol-lowering medications. He generally recommends starting medications when bad cholesterol is greater than 180. One recent study suggests treating cholesterol earlier in life may reduce future heart attacks and strokes. But Dr. Laffin says everyone is different, so it's important to talk to your doctor about what's best for you.
If you have higher risk features, such as a strong family history, you smoke, you're obese or have diabetes, hypertension, your doctor may want to check a little bit more regularly and also be more aggressive in terms of treating risk factors and treating cholesterol.
Dr. Laffin says people of all ages should have open conversations with their healthcare providers about heart disease risk factors because cholesterol-lowering medications can play a role in certain circumstances in keeping young people heart attack and stroke-free.
Well, we have a special animal available for adoption from Desert Haven Animal Society. Today, Darby O'Donnell introduces us to Sidewinder.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Sidewinder. He is a cute little old Chihuahua. Okay, he is actually quite old. At this moment, he does not have any sort of medical issues that require attention, and he's not on any medications. He seems to be having some difficulties hearing and a little bit of like vision lost, but he's a sweetheart. They say he has such a cute little personality. He could definitely tell when someone's coming. He'll greet you at the fence. He does walk a little sideways, which is why we call him Sidewiner. He also likes to have his tongue stick out. He's just a cute little guy, honestly, and he's just trying to find a forever home because he was a stray, and unfortunately no one ever came to Desert Haven to claim him. So he is trying to go and find his forever home so he can go and live out the best years of his life. So if you want to come and see Sidewiner or any of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, please call them ahead of time to make an appointment, 775-751-7020. You can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. And just a reminder that they do offer programs for seniors, retired, and active military where you get a free adoption fee. So you can get this cute little guy completely free of charge. So give them a call, 775-751-7020. Bye. He's chilling.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from the KPVM Weather Studios, and just kind of a weather alert coming up, and this is kind of color-coded for your convenience. All right, you know how like bad things usually come in red, like this tie? All right, red is bad, and then is there anything worse than red? Yes, it's magenta. Look at this. This is a weather impact threat alert for Clark County, for Nye County. Let's coming into the weekend. Let's can we get the other chart up? Let me show them how this is. Okay, so these are the heat risk levels that you can expect, and down here at the bottom is magenta, and magenta says very high risk for the entire population due to the long duration of the heat, and there's going to be very little relief overnight. So you really want to make sure your AC is working. You might want to have that pool ready, and if you don't have a pool, then have a friend with a pool. Let's move on to the next chart they sent us. It's crazy. All right, so this is the heat, high temperatures, and the risk of heat on a Friday. This is Friday. All right, so here's coming up. Needles, Laughlin, Pahrump. All right, you see that all that red? All right, now and there's all this magenta here, of course, in Death Valley. You'd expect that, right? Okay, next chart. Keep going. Look at this. This is Saturday. Saturday, it's really going to sock in, and it's purple, all this magenta, all this red, it's all us, folks. It's all us. How about Sunday? What goes on Sunday? Wait a minute, surely we get some relief Monday. Maybe Monday? No. All right. So that's it. Plan for the hot weather. You know what to do, right? And bring some extra water with you in your cars. When it gets really, really hot, that's when cars break, and then you're stuck out there in the desert. You got nothing. Get some water in your car, all right? Do yourself a favor and, stay into the AC as much as you can. Limit your physical activities in the morning. What am I, your mom? Am I Karen? What is going on? Just care about you, all right? We'll talk about it in the weather, and it's coming up shortly.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, Nevada. Hey, it's John Kohler from the KPVM Weather Studios. It's your weather report for this evening. Good evening. How are you? Checking in on all the hot weather we're getting, and a whole bunch more coming. 95 degrees was the high today in Fernley. 60 degrees was your low in Fallon. We were looking at 94 degrees, 55 for a low tonight, and that'll feel nice in Carson City. 94 and 56. Tonopah checking in at 91 degrees for a high today, 58 for a low. And Goldfield, I think probably you win the most pleasant weather award going in Nevada. Look at this high today, 93 degrees, 58 for a low tonight. That sounds great. Beatty, you were, typically hot, 101 degrees. How about that? As we drift south, it gets like that. 67 degrees for low tonight. In Amargosa, it was about 104. Same in Las Vegas. Lows tonight in the low 70s in Amargosa, high 70s in Las Vegas, and of course out in Death Valley, still really hot. 115 degrees was your high today, and 84 was your low. Let's take a look at the local weather show here. I'm going to step this way. I'll do that. 102 degrees currently. And we're just off the high mark at 103 as we cool off towards the evenings. Let's see, wind today out of the west-southwest, 7 miles per hour. Not much to do, you know, I left my umbrella up, all right? It didn't blow away. It was great. 7 miles per hour feels pretty good. Humidity at 9% and the sunrise this morning at 6:17 a.m. Yeah, it felt good. 72 degrees was the low. You know, it was kind of funny, 72 degrees. I'm a kid from Alaska originally, and 72 degrees, that was always like a high mark where we were like, oh, this is warm. Man, I almost put on a sweater this morning. It's crazy. East winds 6 miles an hour, 15% humidity, and the sunset will be tonight at 7:09 p.m. And that's when the bats come out and everything's fun in my yard. All right, let's take a look at the extended forecast. All right, I got to tell you about this. Extreme weather warnings. Look at this. Look at this. 107, 109, 110. Good Lord. Come on, what kind of weekend is this? It's a hot weekend. That's what it is. You know what you need to do, and I don't need to tell you this. Shoot, you guys are old pros. Lots of water. Limit your heavy physical activity to the mornings when the lows are more like 79, 76 degrees, 63 later in the week. It'll cool off, but man, we're in for a spate of hot weather here, and you need to be careful. Pack extra water with you if you're going someplace. Hot weather makes cars break, and there you are, and you got no water. Bring some water, or get an ice cold glass of Nevada Dairy Council milk. How about that? There's your weather report. I'm John Kohler.
I'm Deanna.
I'm Missy. Have a good night.
Good night.